Hilda asked, how can people's privacy be safeguarded in the context of AI and communication? I guess that's sort of feeding into this conversation, but I'd like to broaden that a little bit to all of you to talk not just about AI, but about robotics and machines in general. And how can companies, because you mentioned Silicon Valley and the commercialization of all of these products, to what extent can we rely on them to build in the sorts of societal values that we might decide we liked? Do they have to be forced to? Can we rely on their goodwill?
I wouldn't want to have to rely on. I mean, I'm a big fan of, government taking over all this data. I mean, we were talking about this. There should not be a private repository where all the data about us is available. And Europe, I think, is making a really important thing here with showing other countries that actually no, we don't have to say that it's okay for Google and Facebook to have all this personal information about what our internet. That information should be either completely public, in the sense that governments and scientists like ourselves can also access it. Currently, we can't. Scientists do not have the access to this sort of data. So I think, something has to change. I'm not prepared to leave that going on where it's the mega companies that have all the info.
Agnieszka?
Well, I can direct the discussion a little bit again towards robots and robot assistants. And on the one hand, yes, I completely agree that we have to be very careful with large corporations and what they sort of impose. But on the other hand, if you develop, say, a robot for assistance, you need to listen to the end users, and you actually need to listen to their needs. And so maybe many of the products that will be developed will actually be also driven, even though they're made by companies, will be driven in a bottom-up way through interaction with the end users. And again, if you think about elderly care or hospitals, you need to talk to caregivers and to understand how to shape those products that we're developing. So I wouldn't be so worried when it comes to applications such as assistive robots, because there we really need to sort of our companies need to work in interaction with the market.